lot of people don't even know that I do music. And interestingly enough, growing up, there were three things that were really crucial in my life, and that was music, motorcycles, and cars.
When you think of car customization, reality TV, or the blend of adrenaline, creativity, and personality, one name instantly pops into the minds of enthusiasts everywhere: Danny Koker, better known as The Count from History Channel's Counting Cars. Danny became the face of automotive transformation. Fans remember the tattoos, the signature bandana, the neatly groomed beard. But behind this public persona lies a story filled with passion, heartbreak, setbacks, and triumphs that few know in full. Even before the cameras started rolling, whispers of struggles, mysteries, and controversies surrounded him. Rumors of financial disputes, legal battles, and personal tragedies floated through the automotive world. Some were true, others exaggerated, but the mystery only added to his intrigue. What made a kid from Cleveland grow into a celebrity mechanic admired by fans worldwide? And how did Danny overcome the obstacles that threatened to derail everything he built? To truly understand the man behind the fame, we have to go back to where it all began. To the garage of his childhood home, where grease, metal, and music shaped his destiny. It's a journey of curiosity, creativity, and the relentless pursuit of a dream, punctuated by moments of both brilliance and heartbreak. This is the story of Danny Koker, the Count, the man who turned passion into a legacy. Danny Nicholas Koker II. Ertur entered the world on January 5, 1964, in Cleveland, Ohio, a city known for its hard-working people and love of machines. Born into a family where engines and melodies shared equal space, young Danny's life was destined to be anything but ordinary. His father worked for the Ford Motor Company, surrounded daily by the hum of machinery, the scent of oil, and the polished chrome of classic cars. From a very early age, Danny was captivated by these life-sized machines. Unlike other children who played with toy cars, he wanted to know how the real ones worked, how the engine roared, how the gears meshed, how the entire machine came alive under human hands. It wasn't just a passing curiosity. Danny's father noticed this fascination and nurtured it, giving him a small cruiser and letting him explore, experiment, and even make mistakes. "I had to take everything apart to understand it," Danny later recalled. "Sometimes I broke things, but I learned to fix them, and that became my education." Those early hands-on lessons planted the seeds of a genius that would later revolutionize the automotive world. Every bolt, every engine part, every car panel Danny touched was a step toward mastery. But cars were only one side of Danny's world. Music flowed just as strongly through his household. His father was a baritone vocalist and keyboardist for the Cathedral Quartet, performing with renowned artists like the Oak Ridge Boys, Mahalia Jackson, and C.L. Franklin. The Koker family was immersed in sound, harmony, and rhythm. Danny, along with his siblings, formed the Koker Family Singers, performing gospel music at local events and venues. By the age of 11, he had already graced the stage at Carnegie Hall, a remarkable accomplishment for a child whose hands were equally skilled at turning wrenches as at striking piano keys. Music taught him patience, performance, and the ability to connect with people, skills that would serve him as much in front of a camera as under the hood of a car. As he moved into his teenage years, Danny's life became a blend of shop class, automotive studies, and countless hours in his father's garage. He absorbed knowledge not from textbooks alone, but from the hum of an engine, the smell of metal polish, and the patient guidance of his father and skilled mechanics who let him shadow their work. "The only schooling that mattered was what I learned with my hands," he later said. "Every car I took apart taught me something new. Every mistake became a lesson." Danny's very first real project, a 1979 Camaro Z28, was more than a car. It was a defining moment in his life. He didn't just drive it, he tore it apart, rebuilt it piece by piece, and transformed it into a street-style Can-Am race car. Every bolt, every panel, every tweak to its performance was a reflection of his creativity, intelligence, and sheer determination. That Camaro wasn't just a project, it was the spark that ignited a lifelong passion for restoration and customization. From that moment forward, Danny realized he wasn't merely fascinated by cars, he was destined to transform them into something extraordinary. But this period of his life was about more than mastering mechanics. Between engines and musical notes, Danny was discovering who he was, what he could achieve, and the kind of challenges he was willing to conquer. It was a formula of relentless curiosity, fearless experimentation, and an uncompromising refusal to accept limits. A combination that would carry him far beyond the garages of Cleveland. This mindset would propel him into the flashing lights and roaring applause of Las Vegas, and eventually into the hearts of millions watching from living rooms around the world. Danny's teenage years had already shown glimpses of a prodigy in the making, but it was his first serious ventures into the world of business that began to shape his legacy. After mastering his Camaro Z28 project, he realized that restoring and customizing cars was more than a hobby. It was a calling. Driven by both passion and ambition, Danny founded Count's Tattoo Company, a venture that uniquely combined two of his greatest loves, cars and tattoos. It wasn't just a place to get inked or rev engines, it became a hub for a growing community of enthusiasts who admired Danny's meticulous eye for detail and his ability to see potential where others saw rust. Word spread quickly. Locals and travelers alike began visiting to witness the transformation of ordinary cars into extraordinary masterpieces. Danny's energy was infectious. He didn't just work on cars, he poured life into them. Each engine rebuilt, each paint job perfected, carried a signature of artistry that reflected his personality. During this time, Danny also immersed himself in the world of motorcycles and vintage vehicles. He would scour junkyards, auctions, and private collections to find forgotten treasures, often taking cars that had been abandoned for years and bringing them back to life. His workshop became a living classroom, not just for himself, but for anyone willing to learn. Apprentices and friends joined him, and his mentorship became as important as his own hands-on work. By the early 2000s, Danny's reputation had grown far beyond Cleveland. He moved to Las Vegas to establish Count's Kustoms, a full-scale custom shop. Here, he wasn't just restoring vehicles, he was creating experiences, telling stories through steel, paint, and leather. Celebrities, collectors, and enthusiasts began taking notice. From Rick Harrison of Pawn Stars to musicians and rock icons, Danny's clients trusted him to deliver not just skill, but imagination. Each project reflected Danny's philosophy that a car wasn't just a vehicle, but a canvas for creativity and personal expression. It was in these early ventures that Danny also honed the qualities that would make him a natural for television: confidence, storytelling, and the charisma of a man who genuinely loved what he did. His ability to explain technical processes in ways that were accessible to anyone, coupled with his larger-than-life personality, made him a perfect candidate for a show centered on car culture. Counting cars wasn't just inevitable, it was a natural extension of the persona he had been cultivating since childhood. Count's Kustoms quickly became a Las Vegas landmark, attracting attention from enthusiasts across the country. Danny and his team worked tirelessly, restoring everything from vintage Mustangs to rare motorcycles, often taking rusted, forgotten machines and transforming them into rolling masterpieces. Every project was a chance to tell a story, and Danny made sure that story resonated not just with car lovers, but with anyone who appreciated creativity and craftsmanship. The partnership with Rick Harrison of Pawn Stars proved pivotal. Appearing on Pawn Stars allowed Danny to showcase his knowledge and talent to millions, And soon, producers recognized the potential for a spin-off. Counting Cars debuted in 2012, bringing the world into the chaotic, thrilling, and deeply human world of Count's Kustoms. Fans were captivated by the personalities of Danny's team, the intricate restorations, and the drama of running a high-stakes custom shop. What set the show apart was not just the cars, it was the people, their struggles, triumphs, and the emotional stakes involved in every project. Danny became more than a mechanic. He became a mentor, a storyteller, and a symbol of passion turned into reality. Through Counting Cars, viewers witnessed the culmination of decades of learning, experimenting, and pushing boundaries. With fame came scrutiny, and Danny's life was far from smooth behind the cameras. In 2014, a $50,000 lawsuit from a dissatisfied customer shook fans, though it was quickly resolved. A few years later, legal troubles escalated with allegations involving narcotics, resulting in a 30-day jail sentence. Fans were shocked. The man they admired for his dedication, creativity, and seemingly invincible persona had vulnerabilities and struggles like anyone else. Suddenly, the cool, tattooed car guy who could transform any rust bucket into a masterpiece was no longer untouchable. He was human, facing consequences and challenges that could have derailed his career entirely. But what made Danny's story so compelling wasn't the scandal itself. It was his response. Behind the headlines and whispers, he confronted his struggles with honesty and resolve. He admitted to his past mistakes, publicly embraced sobriety, and committed to personal growth. He understood that fans didn't just admire the cars he built, they admired the person he had become through years of hard work, creativity, and persistence. And so, Danny refused to let setbacks define him. During this period, the man who once spent countless nights under the hood of a Camaro or in his father's garage began applying the same focus and discipline to his life. He rebuilt not just engines, but himself, learning to navigate the pressures of fame, business, and public scrutiny. The jail time, the legal battles, and the rumors could have crushed anyone's spirit. But for Danny, they became lessons in resilience, humility, and the power of second chances. Fans who had once only seen the glitz and excitement of Counting Cars now witnessed a more human side of Danny, a man who stumbled, fell, and got back up. This transparency created a deeper connection between him and his audience. It wasn't just about cars anymore. It was about life, perseverance, and the courage to face one's demons head-on. Through this journey, Danny demonstrated that true greatness is not the absence of failure, but the ability to rise from it, rebuild, and inspire others along the way. Beyond cars, Danny's passion for music remained a cornerstone of his identity, a thread that tied together the chaos and creativity of his life. At Count's Vamped, his Las Vegas club, Danny found himself surrounded not just by motorcycles and roaring engines, but by the pulse of guitars, drums, and soulful voices. It was there, amid the smoke and neon lights, that he reunited with old friends and fellow musicians, discovering a shared hunger for expression that mirrored his relentless drive in the garage. From casual jam sessions to late-night rehearsals, music became a sanctuary, a place where he could escape the pressures of fame, legal troubles, and the constant scrutiny of the public eye. It was in this space that Count 77 was born. The band fused blues, rock, and soul, creating a sound that resonated as deeply as the chrome and steel of his cars. Every rehearsal was a journey, every live performance a chance to pour emotion into a different kind of canvas. For Danny, the band was more than music. It was therapy, passion, and artistry intertwined. The members shared a rare chemistry, the synchronicity, that made each show feel alive, raw, and unforgettable. Fans quickly noticed this authenticity, connecting not just to the songs, but to the man who lived them. Count 77's music became a bridge between Danny and his audience, just as his cars had. The band's debut album brought critical acclaim in blues rock circles, and their performances at the club drew crowds who could feel the heartbeat of every note. Music allowed Danny to express what words alone could not: the joy of creation, the frustration of setbacks, the thrill of transformation, and the profound satisfaction of turning something ordinary into something extraordinary. For Danny, every chord struck and every lyric sung carried the same essence as the meticulous craftsmanship he applied to a car restoration. Both music and mechanics demanded patience, precision, and heart. Both allowed him to leave a legacy. And in the fusion of these two worlds, rocking amps in the club and revving engines in the shop, Danny Koker's life became a symphony of creativity, resilience, and inspiration, proving that true artistry transcends any single medium. Danny's personal life, particularly his marriage to Corey Koker, became one of the most defining elements of his resilience. Corey was not just a partner in life, but a partner in vision. Talented, intelligent, and fiercely dedicated. As a musician and businesswoman, she understood the demands of creativity and the sacrifices required to succeed in a world where public perception often overshadowed reality. From managing operations at Counts Vamped to supporting the growth of Counts Kustoms, Corey became the stabilizing force behind Danny's whirlwind career. Without her, the empire he built could have easily crumbled under the pressures of fame, scrutiny, and the relentless challenges of running multiple ventures. Together, Danny and Corey navigated a landscape riddled with rumors, legal battles, and the ever-watchful eyes of fans and media. There were whispers about their relationship, speculation about business disagreements, and even unverified claims about Corey's health. Through it all, they chose discretion, focusing on each other and their shared goals rather than letting outside noise dictate their lives. Their partnership was a testament to the power of trust, mutual respect, and unwavering commitment. What made their story truly remarkable was how they balanced love and ambition. While Danny poured his energy into cars, music, and television, Corey ensured that the foundation of their personal and professional lives remained strong. Together, they celebrated victories, overcame setbacks, and kept the heart of their enterprises alive. Their relationship illustrated a profound truth. Behind every public figure who seems larger than life, there is often an equally formidable support system. Someone who understands the burdens, shares the passion, and quietly keeps the world from falling apart when fame and fortune threaten to overwhelm. In the eyes of fans, Danny was the charismatic, bandana-wearing icon of custom cars and rock music. But for Corey, he was a husband, collaborator, and partner whose brilliance shone brightest when paired with her guidance and love. Their story reminds us that true success is rarely achieved alone. It is built on shared dreams, loyalty, and the courage to face life's challenges together, even when the world is watching. By the time Counting Cars ended in 2021, Danny Koker had cemented his place as an icon of automotive culture. His story, from a curious Cleveland boy to a reality TV legend, musician, and entrepreneur, is a testament to passion, resilience, and creativity. Even today, Danny continues to innovate, inspire, and create, reminding fans that success isn't just about fame, it's about dedication, perseverance, and the courage to follow one's dreams. His legacy is not only the cars he's restored or the shows he's starred in, but the inspiration he provides to anyone daring to turn a passion into a life-changing journey.